You have clicked this video because you missed one of the questions or multiple questions from questions 6 through 10. So I'm going to read the question and provide you with the correct answer. It might be a great idea to have a sheet of notebook paper out, jotting down the correct answer so that you can study correctly at home. So number 6, European kings and queens wanted to set up colonies in the New World. Remember, the New World is the Americas. They want to set up these colonies in the Americas in order to harvest the land's valuable resources. According to this fact, how did the Age of Exploration impact European countries' economies? The key here is the word economies. When we talk about economy, you're talking about money. So somewhere in the answer choices, you've got to have something that pertains to money or value or wealth. So how does the Age of Exploration impact people's money? A, European government began to shift to democracy. Answer choice A has nothing to do with economy, nothing to do with money. It's incorrect. B, European countries became wealthy. There's the word wealthy. Wealthy is related to money, and money is the definition of economy. So B looks like it's going to be the best answer. Let's check letter C. European populations began to increase. Population has nothing to do with economy, so C is incorrect. D, European kings began to enslave the people of the New World. This is a very true fact of the Age of Exploration. However, the question says, according to this fact, how did the Age of Exploration impact European countries' economies? So D is incorrect. The best answer that shows that Age of Exploration impacted European economies is B. European countries became wealthy as a result of European exploration. You know, these resources in the New World are valuable resources, and therefore they're making the countries wealthy. Question 7. Which statement, so this is a perspective question, which statement would be made by a Spanish conquistador? In order to get this correct, you have to know who a Spanish conquistador is. A Spanish conquistador is someone from Spain. If you're from Spain, you're from Europe. Remember, Europeans are doing the exploring. So a Spanish conquistador, someone from Spain, who is going to go and conquer land in the New World. Conquer, explore land in the New World. So thinking from the perspective of a Spanish conquistador whose purpose is to go out to the New World, explore these lands, take these lands. So would the Spanish conquistador say, A, too bad the Aztecs could not fight off our European diseases? Potentially he could. To be Spanish means you are from Europe. And remember, the Spanish conquistadors were bringing diseases and killing the Aztecs. So A looks like it could be correct. Let's look at B. I worked too hard as a slave. I'm going to stop there. Spanish conquistadors were not slaves. Africans were slaves. B is incorrect. C, we shall set up a colony on this land in honor of the British king. Okay, pause. So in my storytelling of the Age of Exploration, we know that people from Europe, they set up colonies. So this portion of the statement is, yes, true. A Spanish conquistador would want to set up a colony, but is a Spanish conquistador going to set up the colony in honor of the British king? No. The Spanish conquistadors are from Spain. They're going to set up a colony in honor of the Spanish king. So if you picked C as the correct answer, you just didn't read the question, or you didn't read the answer choice fully. C is incorrect because it says British king, not Spanish king. D, I can't believe the Aztecs have taken over our European land. If you are someone who selected D, you probably need to go a little bit slower reading your answer choices and the question. I can't believe the Aztecs. You have to know that the Aztecs are the Native Americans living in the New World. In the Age of Exploration, the Europeans are conquering the New World, the Aztecs, the Native Americans. Answer choice D is the reverse. It's saying that the Aztecs were doing the exploring and that they're going and conquering the Europeans. We know that's not true. The Age of Exploration, who's doing the exploring and conquering? The Europeans. So the best answer, something that a Spanish conquistador would say, is, too bad the Aztecs cannot fight off our European diseases. Number 8, what was a positive effect of global interaction? So something good that happens as a result of the Age of Exploration. Global interaction. It has to be something good that's related to global interaction. When we think of global interactions, we're thinking of the whole world interacting with each other. So A, the decline. I'm going to stop there. I see the word decline. That is a negative word. I am supposed to be looking for something positive. So when I look at answer choice A and I see the word decline, I see the word disease. These are negative things. So A is incorrect because it's talking about something negative, but I'm looking for something positive. A is incorrect. B, the setting up of new colonies in the New World on Native American lands. Okay, this looks like it could be correct. We'll come back to that one and kind of narrow down our choices. We know that people are setting up new colonies in the New World. We know that they're setting them up on Native American lands. This looks like it could be correct, so we've got to talk ourselves into the best answer. We're going to move on to C and see what we can find. C, the Columbian Exchange provided Europeans with new foods for diverse diets. Okay, this also looks like it could be something good. So we're going to hold off on B and C, and we're going to see if we can eliminate D. The death of many Africans. I'm going to pause there. I'm looking for something positive. Answer choice D is referring to something negative. So D is incorrect. I'm looking for a positive effect. So now let's just look at these two choices, B and C. B and C could potentially both be correct. So it's my job, the test taker, to figure out what the best answer choice is. So the question asks, what was a positive effect of global interaction during the Age of Exploration? I've got to have some really deep background knowledge for this. Answer choice B says the setting up of new colonies in the New World on Native American lands. I got to do a whole lot of inferencing with B. It says that colonies were set up on Native American lands. And you have to think to yourself, how were those lands taken? From background knowledge, you should know that the Europeans are taking these lands away from the Native Americans. This is not a good thing for the Native Americans. It's actually pretty devastating, the fact that a group of people had lived in a land for so long and Europeans come in and say, nope, now it's ours, and they take it from them. So it's a pretty negative situation, B is. B is very negative. It's a good thing for the Europeans, I guess, but from the whole perspective, Native American lands are being taken. This is something that affects them very negatively. So C, the Columbian Exchange provided Europeans with new foods for diverse diets. Yeah, C is the best answer. The Columbian Exchange is a positive system of trade. It provides new diets to Europeans. So the best answer for number 8 is C. Number 9. Remember, there was a typo here on the test. Number 9. Which of the following is a correct negative effect? Correct negative effect of global interaction. So this time I'm looking for something bad. As I read my answer choices, I've got to find something bad that's happening. And I notice here in the question it says a correct negative effect. So I can already go ahead and make an inference that these answer choices are all going to be negative, but I have to figure out which one is the correct negative effect of global interaction. So A, the transatlantic slave trade provided new homes to African immigrants. When you have something that's new, is that positive or negative? That's positive. Again, I'm looking for a negative effect, something bad. So answer choice A is wrong because it mentions new homes. To have something new is positive, so A is incorrect. B, the system of the transatlantic slave trade, known as the Columbian Exchange. B makes no sense at all because you have two different systems that developed during the global interaction, transatlantic slave trade and the Columbian Exchange. So B makes no sense. You can't call it the same thing. So B is incorrect. C, the transatlantic slave trade destroyed many African families. Okay, so I see the word destroyed. Is destroyed a positive or negative tone word? It's definitely negative. So by reading answer choice C and by reading that one word, I already make this connection between something that's negative. Let's go ahead and see if we can eliminate D. So far, we think C is the best answer. Let's see if we can eliminate D. The Columbian Exchange led to the death of many European explorers. I see the word dead. That is definitely tied to the word negative. But I need to read a little bit more closely. The Columbian Exchange led to the death of many European explorers. If you can recall the correct information about the Columbian Exchange, we never talked about the death of European explorers. We talked about how European explorers brought over diseases through the Columbian Exchange, and those diseases killed Native Americans. But we've never mentioned how European explorers died as a result of the Columbian Exchange. So the best answer is going to be C. That is the correct negative effect. that global interaction had on African families. Number 10, which statement is true? So these kinds of questions suck because you really have to pay attention to every portion or every word of the answer choice. So which statement is true about the forced migration of Africans to the New World during the Age of Exploration? So I'm looking for something that is going to talk about the migration of Africans to the New World. Remember, migration has to do with the movement. Picture in your mind the Old World and New World and people crossing the Atlantic Ocean, being forced on ships. These Africans are forced to travel across the Atlantic Ocean to the New World. That is what we're picturing, and we have got to find the correct fact about that. So A, many slaves in Brazil and the Caribbean islands were imported from Africa in order to harvest sugarcane. Well, to be imported from Africa, yes, this makes sense. When you're imported from somewhere, so they're brought to Brazil and the Caribbean islands from Africa to harvest sugarcane. This is a correct statement. Let's look at B and see if we can eliminate it though. Many African slaves were exported to Africa. No. To be exported to somewhere means that you're going somewhere. So going to Africa? No. African slaves are pulled out of Africa. So B is incorrect. C, the migration of Africans was optional. Did Africans have a choice to get on those slave ships? No, they were forced. The word forced is in the question itself. So C is incorrect. Africans did not have an option. They were forced to migrate to the New World. D, many Africans were not happy with their African tribes and decided to journey across the Atlantic Ocean in search of peace and prosperity. Africans left their tribes in order to find peace in the New World. This doesn't make sense because we know that Africans were forced to migrate because of slavery, and slavery is something very negative. Answer choice D has a little bit more of a positive tone, and we know that the slave trade should not include a positive tone. So the best answer that is correct is A. Many slaves in Brazil and the Caribbean islands were imported from Africa. So you have slaves that are being exported from Africa to Brazil and the Caribbean islands in order to harvest the valuable crop, sugarcane. And that is the end. I hope you were able to get some good notes and continue on with your enrichment task today. Great job.